Welcome back to the Quiet Millionaire, where we don't chase wealth, we regulate into it. Ever notice how even rest feels like failure? How sitting down for 10 minutes can bring guilt louder than a missed deadline? Ever feel like slowing down is more terrifying than burning out? Like you'd rather run yourself empty than admit you need a pause? Or maybe you wonder why urgency still owns your mornings, even though you already know all the podcasts and books say, breathe, slow down, be present. You hear it, but every email, every calendar ping, every just one more task sends your system into another sprint. Today, we're not talking mindset. We're addressing what's underneath your money behavior, the part no spreadsheet or bookkeeper ever sees, the part where your nervous system scans for danger, even when you're technically safe. That's the cost. Wealth, for most, isn't just numbers. It is the silent tally of tension and self-abandonment you rack up while convincing yourself you rebuilding, growing, scaling. You tell yourself the grind is temporary. That peace is on the other side of one more threshold. But if peace isn't safe today, it won't be safe tomorrow, no matter how many zeros you add. Here's what I want you to try. Picture your wealth as a harbor, a place designed for rest, not just arrival. A harbor calms the storm, not because the sea changed, but because you're sheltered now. Your nervous system registers that safety before your bank account ever does. Catch that. Let it land. Here's the sabotage pattern. You normalize burnout. Called it progress. When your body tenses every morning before you even brush your teeth, that's not momentum. That's strain. Maybe you feel it in your jaw, clenched before your first sip of coffee. Maybe your shoulders crawl up toward your ears, a posture nobody taught you. But when your body recognizes as ready for whatever comes, this is your nervous system holding the line, hour after hour, as if ease itself would cost you everything you built so far. Most people won't name it. Hypervigilance isn't just a word. It shows up in the ordinary moments you overlook. Checking Slack at dinner, replying to emails during a walk, phone ticking with messages you can't ignore. You keep the ringer on in the shower, just in case opportunity looks like urgency. You apologize for needing rest, for not showing up to every call with the same forced drive. You judge yourself for an early night, nervous that an empty calendar means you're already falling behind. Entrepreneurship rewards this pattern. People mistake tension for discipline. You hear, the grind doesn't sleep, and you wear exhaustion like a badge. Nobody celebrates walking away once the work is done, but they'll respect the man who outlasts his own tiredness. You see systems built on restless energy, where the idea of doing less feels irresponsible. The cost, migraines you accept as normal. Sleep comes shallow or not at all. Your breath gets trapped in your chest. Memories blur. You don't notice the sunset anymore. That's not leadership. That's survival mode. And you already know this. The body cries for relief, and we punish it for being human. Every ignored yawn, every skipped meal, it's not a flaw in your character. It's a survival pattern you inherited. If this shows up in your week, pause there. You are not broken. You have been conditioned. Now that we see it, let's shift. Let's flip this. For most, wealth starts as a chase, but chasing is just survival in nicer clothes. When the nervous system is on edge, always monitoring, always pushing, the mind looks for safety through achievement. This isn't just theory, it's how your biology works. You think the next deal, the next launch, the next milestone will finally settle something. It never does. Start here instead. Nothing grows well when it's threatened. Picture a harbor. In a storm, ships don't power through, they anchor where it's sheltered. Or think about a greenhouse. Before new growth emerges, the space is made warm, quiet, and safe. Building wealth is no different. If you want sustainable abundance, what you're really building first is the conditions for it. A safe nervous system is the greenhouse. It's the harbor after years of busy seas. Let's ground that. Say you're facing an important financial decision on a day you barely slept. Emails stacking up. Your body jittery from caffeine. Notice what happens. Your options seem smaller. Every answer feels urgent. You'll grab at the first exit, even if it costs more in the long run. Now try the same decision after a long, silent walk. Hands are calm, thoughts quiet, breathful. Suddenly, you remember what actually matters. You see unnecessary risks. The same brain in a safer state makes a better decision because it is no longer fighting for safety. This isn't a fix, it's a frame. You already know this, but urgency is not clarity. If your nervous system is frayed, there's no wealth worth building. Anchor this once. Repeat when it wobbles. Here is what I want you to try. Check the stake you're in before you act. If it feels like chasing, pause. If it feels like tending, proceed. That's the discipline. Build capacity, not speed. Most people who build in silence, the ones who do the real work, who make sure others are okay, have absorbed something early on. If I don't keep it all together, it falls apart. So you step in over and over. It starts in small moments. You clean up without being asked. Apologize when it wasn't your fault. Hold space for others' overwhelm while burying your own. The nervous system learns this early, long before money is ever a factor. It feels like care, but over time, this constant responsibility rewires what calm should feel like. Fast forward to adulthood. The same over-caretaking now runs in your relationship with money. You find yourself taking on other people as tasks at work because it is easier if I do it. You loan out energy, time, even cash when you know it depletes you. Being the strong one costs you more than you see. Your nervous system isn't built for chaos. It's adapting to protect, not to thrive. Here's what I want you to try. Boundaries aren't offense, and restraint isn't coldness. Every time you pause before stepping in, every time you let someone else carry their own weight, you're showing your nervous system something new. Think about a workday when a coworker drops the ball. Notice the instinct to intervene. Instead, anchor in and do nothing. Just notice. This small act becomes a subtle practice. The signal isn't, I don't care. It is, I trust you to handle your own experience. That's boundary. That's respect. Let that land. This isn't a fix. It's a frame. Most people try to exit over responsibility with one dramatic boundary that explodes the system. You don't need that. You need quiet repetition. Turn your phone off during lunch. Let payments process without chasing. Say, I'll get back to you and mean it. Most builders believe that wealth responds to control, more checking, more planning, more relentless micro moves. But anxiety disguised as diligence only tightens the loop. The third quiet shift is to let the cycle unfold judiciously, allow space, trust the system you built, and recognize that receptive waiting isn't passive, it's potent. Consider the practical, the compulsion to check your investments hourly, refreshing dashboards as though your gaze could force a green candle, or scanning your email every 10 minutes, as if greeting opportunity at the digital door makes it more likely to show up. Your nervous system doesn't register growth during these bursts, only the safety of routine discomfort. Most call that responsible, but it's often a conditioned avoidance of uncertainty. Here's what I want you to try. Deliberately remove one compulsive checkpoint from your day. Close the dashboard for a set window, or choose not to scan sales stats before noon. Notice how agitation shows up. Notice the edge. You're not failing. You're allowing your mind to relax into actual clarity. New patterns show you where your internal grip is strongest. Each minute reclaimed from staring and scanning is a signal to your system. Wealth isn't a dog that responds to whistle. Trust is behavioral. You build it as you sit, not as you scramble. This isn't a fix. It's a frame. Receptivity means letting the cycle breathe. A day off the market, an inbox left unread until lunch. These are not signs of apathy. They see the ground for wisdom. That is how the ground replenishes, not by force, but by cycles that honor what feeds profit. Long term, if this shows up in your week, pause there. The most valuable decisions in my career arrived when I let the field rest. Not waiting for rescue, not freezing, just making space so what actually matters can surface without noise. That's the discipline. You already know. The work is internal. Safety is capacity, not a performance. Anchor in that truth. You aren't here to outpace your nervous system. That's the first shift. The second, boundaries are steady, not loud. You decide where your attention goes, and you protect it without needing to explain. Boundaries hold, even when no one sees. Action, then pause. Decision, then separation from the noise. Let that land. The third, receptivity isn't passive. It's tracking your own readiness, letting momentum arrive when your system is clear. Control drops, trust holds. You're not chasing. You're receiving at the rhythm of your real energy. Here's what I want you to try tonight. Before you open your numbers or check your email, stop. One slow breath, just one. Let that small regulation settle in. I build wealth at the pace of my stability. I allow rest to strengthen my results. I am the source of my own safety. Calm is my primary strategy. Structure protects my energy. My decisions hold, even when they're quiet. I let wealth arrive on my timeline. Quiet wealth is built on capacity. Quiet wealth is built on capacity. Quiet wealth is built on capacity.